I don't think I'd want it to track me around the store. You know, catch me over in the corner scratching my butt or something. Hey everybody, Magic Mike here. Welcome to another edition of Questions with Magic Mike. And this week we threw it out to you guys on our socials. We got answers from both Facebook, YouTube, uh, TikTok. So we're gonna see what a few of you guys had to say, um, and we'll just see how this goes down. So the first question is: if you woke up as a giant, what's the first thing you do? Now, this first answer, the first set of answers I got here on the screen, are from our Leonard in Fredericksburg. So I don't know if this is one person or if they took it as a group, but their answer was eat a lot. Um, Let me just go ahead and tell you, you don't have to be a giant to eat a lot. I do that almost every day. So next person was Sarah, and she said scare people. I like that answer. Um, I like to scare people too. Next lady is Phyllis, and her answer was play basketball. Yeah, I mean, play basketball. I guess it depends on how big of a giant you are. Like, if you're a giant, like 8 foot, yeah, that'd be a great thing to do. But if you're like a 20-foot giant, you'd be killing your back from bending over and putting the ball in the basket all day long. Um, Heather says that to see people's reaction and to try to eat tiny food. Well, you would definitely see the reactions, that's for sure. Anytime you went out, and tiny food, I guess, would be regular food to us non-giants, and then you would get to everything would be tiny. That would be a something difficult to live with if you were a giant, because you'd have to figure out how to get fed. Like, I'm sure you'd have to eat a lot, but they'd all be so tiny it like wouldn't even be a mouthful. But again, I guess it depends on how big of a giant you are. Blake's answer was to take a bath in the ocean. So I think Blake, with me, I think he's going with supersized giant here. Um, or maybe he just likes to bathe in the ocean. I don't know. I've never met the guy. Now, what would I do if I woke up as a giant? Uh, I'm kind of with Heather on this one, because my answer would likely be scare children. Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in real quick before we get too deep into it and remind you to subscribe, like, and hit that alarm bell. Really helps out the channel a lot. Back to the questions. Now I'm noticing something. So as we go along, I want you guys to pay attention to this logo, because this hat often betrays me. Number one, it's going to start coming off my head. Number two, usually this is going to slip around to one side or the other. So let's see if it only does it when I'm around or when other people are watching too, because I've got my theories. But let's move on to question two. Would you rather have a tail you cannot hide or wings you cannot use? So, Leonard, Fredericksburg edition. They would rather have wings that you cannot use. Um, I actually have pretty strong opinion on this one, and I'll get to it in a minute. Um, because Phyllis answers wings, Sarah answers wings, Heather wings, and yeah, Blake, wings too. So everybody around the board says wings. Now, on this particular question, I think they're missing out something. That it says a tail you cannot hide or wings you cannot use. Wings to me would seem hard to hide either way. So I'm going tail that I cannot hide because the question doesn't say I can't use the tail. And sometimes it'd be handy to have an extra hand around, I guess. That's that's my opinion. That's just me. You are free to have your own opinion. And please feel free to comment below if you disagree with anything I say or if you think you have a better answer. Love to hear it. If you were a villain, what would your catchphrase be? Now, here's another one that kind of surprised me because most people skipped this question, left it blank. I don't know if they couldn't think of something or if they just didn't see themselves as having the ability to be evil. But Fredericksburg skipped it. Sarah skipped it. Phyllis, here's going, ready or not, here I come. Um, she's obviously a supervillain for children. Number 3, Heather skipped it. Blake says, money funds my happiness. Okay, all right. See, the evil villain thing didn't say you had to be like a murderer or anything. You can, actually, I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube, but it does mean that you're doing something villainous. So if you're a fraudster or a swindler, a Ponzi scheme guy. So yeah, most people didn't answer. I was kind of surprised. I wanted to see what kind of creativity that we could come up with there. So I'm going to come up with one. Evil catchphrase, evil villain catchphrase. Okay, so this is the catchphrase I used after I was done doing my villainous deed. Bet you didn't think I could do it, did you? It's not flashy, but it's an answer. Do you want to move on to number 4? Let's move on to number 4. Fredericksburg. If you had to smell like one food forever, what scent are you choosing? Auntie Anne's pretzels. I would be spending a lot of time at Leonard and Fredericksburg if that was the case, because I am a soft pretzel and actually a hard, just pretzel fanatic. Um, Sarah says freshly baked pound cake. I guess you can't go wrong there either. Um, Phyllis says freshly baked cinnamon raisin bread. Let's take out the raisin bread, and I'm in. Heather, strawberries. Strawberries have a wonderful scent to them as well. Um, and Blake says vanilla. Um, all, all good scents. Um, if I could smell like one food forever, I'm going bananas. No, I mean that's my answer. I'm not that. Well, the answer for me is bananas. Um, love the smell of bananas. Anything banana scented, I'm in. So that's my answer. Let's go on to number 5. Would you rather have your own theme music every time you walked in a room or a laugh track whenever you speak? Fredericksburg, they want a theme song. And they were nice enough to tell us they would like to have Dirty Deeds by AC/DC. Good song, and they should have answered question number 3 about the villain if they were going to say Dirty Deeds was their theme song. I think they should definitely have a catchphrase for that. Sarah went theme song as well. Phyllis theme song, Heather theme song, Blake, my own theme song every time I had a room. Um, yeah. See, I want to be different and say a laugh track, but every time you spoke is a bit much because um, even though I think I'm hilarious, most people wouldn't. So I don't think a laugh track would be necessary. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with theme song. I'm gonna join the club. Um, the theme from Raiders of the Lost Ark is is probably the one that I would want to be my theme song. Don't know why. It's just catchy. I like it. Doesn't represent me anyway. I'm not a archaeologist. I'm not a professor. Um, so I just like the tune. Let's move to number 6. If you could use only one emoji for the rest of your life, which would it be? And I am going to try to imitate most of the emojis here because you can't see them. They'd be too small for you to see if you did. So, Fredericksburg, little Fredericksburg, he gave us one of these. Uh, or maybe one of these. There's more teeth in his. I think that's just a big smile. It could be just showing off that he got to brush this morning. I don't know. Sarah, that one. That's a good one because I think we would all do that a lot. Phyllis, just a smile. And let's see. Oh, uh, Heather's emoji. The heart. Is that how you do that? It's a heart emoji. I don't know if that makes my hand into a heart, but it's a heart emoji and it's blue. So I'm hoping that doesn't mean that her heart is blue because that would mean she's sad. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. Blake is an alien face. Um, I also am unable to warp my face, but it's like that, and it's green. So alien face. If you, oh me, I've got to answer that question. My emoji. Uh, that one. Hmm. The thinking one, or hmm, that one. Either they both work well for me. All right. Question number 7. If you could instantly make one thing illegal just for fun, what would it be? And we get our answers. Fredericksburg says people driving under the speed limit actually get tickets. Um, that would be a tough one because I think that if people over the speed limit get tickets and people under the speed limit get tickets, it's going to be really hard to stay right on that line, um, whatever that line may be. Um, but yeah, there's some really slow drivers out there, and I have to admit, because everybody that knows me is going to say this, I am one of them. I just forget that I'm driving, start taking in the scenery. If you could, Sarah, what'd you say? Blowing your nose in public? Yes, I think that is definitely, if you're out in public, that is definitely a bathroom activity. It can be quite disgusting. Phyllis has to say that it would be illegal to have to wait a long time at the doctor's office. This one is subjective, as you would have to, we need more specifics. Like, if you have to wait 5 minutes, does the doctor's office get fined? Or if we have to wait an hour? So, again, with the speed limit, we need to know how we're going to work that. Heather says turning right on red. Interesting. Turning right on red has been one of my favorite traffic laws. However, my wife would agree 100% with you, Heather, because she never turns right on red. She turns red all the time. Her hair's red, but she never turns right on red. She's not a fan. Blake says bumping into people. Okay, I'm with you, because too many people think that they're the one that should be able to take up that space. So you'll see two people, and I'm guilty of this too. But you see two people coming at each other, and just both of them slap shoulders. Now, in that case, I think they should both get a ticket. But if one of them tries to give the other one a little space and the other one doesn't try back, just this one gets the ticket. Because it's not hard to just turn slightly with your shoulder to let somebody pass you. That I like that answer. That because that does annoy me. What would I make illegal just for fun? I'm gonna say crying in public, because at that point, when you see somebody crying, you always think, "Oh no, what has happened? Did they lose a loved one? Did they break up with a significant other? Did they just stump their toe?" There's a wide range of where our people could be crying, and there is no need for the general public to have to sit there and guess about what it is specifically that you're crying about. I think that should get you a ticket. Um, but yeah, so that's what I'm gonna say. But again, we have to, like, if it's a allergy type crying, like watery eyes, exempt. Running tears, distorted face, getting a ticket on that one, buddy. Let's move on. Moving on to number 8. If you had to live inside one grocery store forever, which one would you choose? Fredericksburg says Menards. Still don't know what that is. Um, I guess that's a grocery store in Fredericksburg. Not heard of them. Sarah says Target, and I love that answer because this question was very vague. And if you choose Target, not only are you living in the grocery store, but also all the other stuff Target's got. Ride bikes, play video games, watch TV, plant stuff. It just leaves you more options. Target's a bit too fancy for me though. I'm not their client, their target market. Let's see. Publix is what Phyllis says, and that's a good one because they do offer a unique selection. So you're gonna get some good stuff from them. Heather also went with Target. Blake also went with Publix. So we got 2 Publix, 2 Targets, and what was that again? Menards. I'm gonna go with Menards. My choice, Walmart. Same reason as Target. I just fit in better at Walmart. All right, let's move on.
Sorry about that.
All right, question number 9. Would you rather sneeze glitter or sweat confetti? Confetti. Um, and I knew it was confetti. I was just pronouncing it weird. Fredericksburg is going to sneeze some glitter. Sarah is going to sweat confetti. Phyllis also is going to sweat confetti. Heather declined to answer. Blake, sneezing that glitter, baby. Um, I'm also going to go sneeze glitter. A couple reasons. Number one, I sweat sometimes, more often than I sneeze, and it would be weird always having confetti all over me. Um, Especially because I get sweaty palms a lot, and I don't like it when stuff is on my hands, like dirt, glue, whatever, grease. Um, so I wouldn't like it if I had confetti on my hands. But sneezing glitter, it's a party trick that's gonna work every time. So that's that's where I'm staying with that one. Sneezing some glitter. Everybody needs glitter. All right. Question number 10. The last of the 10 questions. What celebrity would you cast to play in a chaotic comedy um, about you? Play you. So the comedy is about you. So apparently you've had a funny life. Fredericksburg refused to answer. Maybe that's because the whole team is answering the questions and one person could not envelop what they all offer. Because I assume they offer a variety of moods and characteristics. That's what we're going with. Sarah Melissa McCarthy. Um, and since I don't know what everybody looks like, I can only assume that Melissa or Sarah is over the top funny to a lot of people. I'm not a fan of Melissa McCarthy. Not because I don't like the lady. I don't know the lady, but I just don't. I don't like her brand of humor. I also don't like Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey. I'm not fans, but I love comedies. Love stand-up comedy, but just seems like sometimes people try too hard to be funny. Um, Phyllis goes with Reba McEntire. So I think she's known for her red hair, if I'm not mistaken, and singing. So maybe this is a musical. Heather did not give us an answer for that question either. It's hard. I understand. Um, Blake says Ryan Reynolds. Think kind of highly of yourself, don't you, Blake? That's it's a good answer. He's a good actor, good comedic actor. Um, Me, I'm gonna go with John C. Riley, um, with the exception of that movie that he did with Will Ferrell. So, all right, that is all 10 of the questions we threw out there. I really enjoyed getting your answers and having you guys, some of you, play along. Of course, we have over 2,000 friends on Facebook. So, next time there should be a lot more answers. Um, but again, thanks to the participants who did play the game. We really had fun. I hope you enjoyed watching. Next week is Thanksgiving. I am trying my best to line up something really special for you guys. Uh, did I say Christmas? It's Thanksgiving next week. I'm still trying to line up something really special for next week. But it is Thanksgiving, not Christmas. So, all right, guys. So this brings us to the end of our show this week. Thank you for joining another episode of Questions with Mike. And if you haven't already, like the video, helps a lot with the algorithm. Please subscribe. We're gaining some subscribers. We're really happy about that, but we could always use more. And turn on that alarm bell, because that's what every other YouTuber tells you to do, is to turn on the alarm bell. So maybe that helps with something. But I want you guys to have a good weekend. And as we can see, my hood has moved up and to the right. So I guess it's not just when I'm around. Guys, I will see you again next Friday. And hopefully it'll be special. If not, just be ordinary. Just, run of the mill. Just probably me reading a book or something. See you then.